Hey sportsman, John Bergsman here from Fisherman's Digest, here in a showroom, and guess what? The showroom at Freeway Sports Center in Fenton is actually filled with Polar Craft boats. He's got some angler quests out in the yard, he's got deliveries coming and trickling in, and guess what? We've got a huge selection of boat, but most importantly today, some awesome fishing reports. We're gonna start out in the Erie Shores and Islands region from basically the Davis-Besse power plant through to Sandusky. Really good perch fishing going on there. We're gonna talk about that. Then we're gonna swing around the corner to Lake St Clair, where the perch fishing, as well as walleye, bass, and muskie continues to be good, but we're gonna talk with Gary Birch about the perch fishing there. It's been really, really solid. And then we're gonna slide north to Hubbard Lake. Hey, the guys from the West Michigan Walleye Club just had an awesome tournament up there at Hubbard Lake. And guys, they are whacking beautiful limits of walleye up on Hubbard. We talked about it last week on our fishing report that bite was going. Well, we got some great pictures and some great verification that bite is going. Then we're gonna jump over the bridge, talk to Don Gerbovich, a friend of mine, just a regular old Joe who goes fishing often. Don's retired now, and so he keeps me all informed on Lake Gogebic as well as the Ontonagon to the Wisconsin border, basically Ontonagon to Silver City on the Lake Superior shoreline. Some really good mixed bag fishing of trout and some silverfish going on. Lake Gogebic is starting to kick out some walleyes as well. Then we're gonna come back over the bridge. We're gonna slide into Manistee, Ludington. We're gonna talk with Blue Collar Guide Service because guys are interested in jigging. It seems like jigging's the big rage this year. So whether it's lake trout, we're gonna stop in and talk about jigging king salmon. In fact, yours truly is gonna be out with Blue Collar Guide Service next Monday, a week from today, and I'm gonna be out jigging in the Manistee Lake for big king salmon. So stay tuned for that report. We're gonna end the day in Cadillac. Randy Cornell tells us that the fishing in Cadillac and Mitchell has stayed extremely consistent. Really good catches of walleye continuing to come out of those two lakes. That's great news for the area and great news for the fishermen here in Michigan. Hey, and then we're gonna talk to you about the boat supply that they've got here at Freeway Sports. So stay tuned. We got 6 awesome reports here on Fisherman's Digest Hot Bite. So first report of the day. Normally we'd talk Erie Shores and Islands walleye. Nope, today we're gonna talk perch. Now, Captain Rocco Papandrea, longtime friend of mine from over in that Davis-Besse region, that area right around the firing range in the cans and that Fenwick Marine area, tells me that the perch fishing has been outstanding here in the last couple of weeks, and it looks to only get better. Now, Captain Rocco's taken his customers out using 2 hook perch rigs. I use the perch pounder. I like it in the green, the orange, or the chartreuse color. And what Rocco's doing different is on some of his rigs, he's actually cutting the emerald shiner in half and just hooking it on as a dead bait presentation. And that has been working well to physically lay that thing right on the bottom, and the perch have been coming up and eating those partial pieces really, really well when the bite is subtle. That's a trick everybody should use. Of course, one of my tricks is that I like to use raw cocktail shrimp and cut those in half and hook those on at least one of my hooks on one of my rigs. There are days that the raw cocktail shrimp is lights out better than the emeralds. And of course, just your live shiners is working well as well. Mike Schmidt from Mike Schmidt Outdoors down there in that greater Davis-Besse region, he fishes a lot around the cans. He's saying the same thing. Bite is really good. Now here's the kick, guys. Some of the guys are catching fish as shallow as 15 feet of water on those churned up days or after a big blow. Some of those perch are venturing in pretty tight to shore, and you can get into some really good catches. Most of the fish are still on the outside in that 22 to 30 foot of water range. That's where most of the fish seem to be hiding. A lot of activity going around the Green Island area and also Mouse Island area of the Erie Shores and Islands, the Bass Islands region. That's really, really been a consistent producer all year long. It seems like Rattlesnake, Green, and the areas around Rattlesnake and Green. If you're just willing to put some time in searching, you're gonna find some good schools of fish. Now, I haven't kept tabs on the fish east of us from there, but I can tell you this, Erie Shores and Islands region right now, lights out for good perch fishing.
Midwest Steel Carports is Michigan's premier steel building manufacturer. We manufacture and install custom steel buildings throughout Michigan. Our engineer-certified steel buildings are fully tailored to fit your every need, and our up to 40-year warranty protects your investment. From residential storage sheds to commercial warehouses, let our team work with you to find your ideal building. For more information and pricing, visit MidwestSteelCarports.com.
So Lake St. Clair, we got an awesome report, kind of a two-fisted report. Captain Eric Long, I think, is going to take a week off this week to go hit that Ludington Manistee bite that I've been talking about. But he's normally on Lake St. Clair. So we've got Gary Birch, a friend of ours from up in the Houghton Lake area, who slid over to Lake St. Clair, and he's been targeting perch. And as you see the pictures going across the screen, whatever Gary targets seems to bite. These are some beautiful catches of big perch. He's mixing in the occasional walleye and large smallmouth bass in with his catch, and he's doing really well in that deeper area, that 18 to 20 foot area of Lake St. Clair. Now, Captain Eric wanted me to also let you know that it's the same bite going on over there on Lake St. Clair when you're targeting smallmouth and walleye. If you're anywhere in that deeper water around the shipping channel and you're willing to pull bottom bouncers and spinners with crawler harnesses or big bandits, you're gonna run into some nice marauding schools of walleye and smallmouth bass, and you'll probably be able to have a good day. But Gary has turned me on to this bottom bouncer bite for perch. You know, that's a unique way to catch fish, bottom bouncing and pulling a spinner. A lot of guys do it for walleye. Well, Gary has been doing it for perch, and as you can see by the pictures, he's having some great success. So if you're looking for a spot to go, the St. Clair Lake area has been awesome all year long. Hey, and I just want to add a tidbit. If you're in that greater Detroit area, the Waterford area, my friend Mark Malvich over at the bait shop has got all kinds of awesome live bait. If you're looking for great minnows, great live bait, just a great selection of lures, rods, and reels, Mark is servicing that greater Lake St. Clair, the Detroit River. That's not really going right now, but boy, I tell you what, a lot of guys drive a ways to go to the bait shop in Waterford so that they can get great bait and great prices on an awesome selection of one of the best stocked little bait shops here in Michigan. So if you're anywhere in that greater Detroit area, venture into Waterford, check out the bait shop. Mark and Blake and the staff there will take care of you with awesome bait and a great selection of rods, reels, tackle, and they have line spooling and the whole 9 yards there at the bait shop.
You always get the best at Beck's Trailer Superstore, the nation's largest trailer dealer. With over 1,500 trailers on 45 acres, you won't find a better selection anywhere. Whether you're looking for an open or enclosed trailer for work or play, you'll find the perfect trailer at Beck's. We have flexible financing options through several national and local lenders to offer the most competitive rates and payments from only $69 per month with approved credit. For the best selection of quality trailers at unbeatable prices, call 888-SAVE-BECKS or visit BecksTrailerStore.com.
Hey, so our next stop is we've got an awesome on-the-water report for the Hubbard Lake walleye bite that's going on. Scott Mathy and his partner were up there with the West Michigan Walleye Club, which had a great event there this last weekend. As you can see by these pictures, guys, the walleye in Hubbard Lake are there and they're healthy. We talked about it last week. We talked about the spinner bite, but Scott actually targeted these fish jigging. And that's really something different. Not a lot of guys do a lot of jigging, but the guys put together a really awesome program, told me they caught well over 20 keepers. Now, of course, when you're in a tournament scenario, you're limited to how many you can catch and keep. And of course, so they ended up doing a lot of catch and release. And the beautiful thing about jigging or crawler harness fishing, on those fish is that you don't damage the fish that much. You can unhook them real easily, take a quick picture and let them go if you've already got your limit. But right now, Hubbard Lake, Alpena region has been lights out for great fishing, and there's multiple ways to do it. We all know you can catch them there suspended in crawler harnesses and crankbaits. Well, Scott and the boys proved you can catch them with jigs as well. So hey, good job guys, and thanks for the great guest report.
Snowmobilers, the 36th annual Snow Motion is coming. It's happening August 27th and 28th at Nelson Speed Shop in Greenville. The deals will be amazing. You'll get special show financing rates on every sled and every brand, including Ski-Doo, Yamaha, Polaris, and Articat. Get 2-day only Snow Motion deals on parts, accessories, and oil. See the SJO motocross event and snowmobile grass drags. Snow Motion only comes once a year to Nelson Speed Shop in Greenville.
Nelson Speed Shop.
So up in the western Upper Peninsula, my friend Don, who fishes probably a couple days a week just recreationally now that he's retired from the road commission. We're happy for you, Don. I'm jealous for you, Don. But he's been sending me some consistent pictures from the Silver City to Ontonagon stretch of shoreline. Now, yeah, that's a little bit of a big stretch of shoreline, but basically you go out of any one of the major port towns, whether it's Silver City or Black Bay or up in Ontonagon, you're gonna find pretty good fishing right close by to any one of those harbors. Now, he's been targeting lake trout and silverfish combination, and how he's been doing that is basically putting a spread of riggers and divers deep and then running some high lines, whether it's flat lines or short coppers like 50s and 75s and 100s. Those are going to get you down somewhere between 10 feet and 20 feet down. The 50 is probably down 10, 11. The 100 is probably down 20 to 21, and that's at 2.5 miles an hour. A nice selection of small body baits or full-size Dreamweaver spoons in bright colors seems to be the best right now. Oranges, the UVs, the baitfish colors, all of those seem to be working really good. Rasta Goose is a really good color up there, as is Wrecking Ball. Those are consistent colors that work up there. And you're just trolling and you're finding where they're at. You're doing the same thing you do on the west side of the state, and that means you're gonna go set at a start depth of maybe 70 feet, and then you're just gonna do a slow, gradual out troll until you find the zone where you're marking the fish. And then you can just tighten that, and you can zigzag in troll, out troll, in troll, out troll in a Z pattern. And with a nice spread of riggers, divers, and high coppers, you should be able to encounter a nice mixed bag of Lakers, steelhead, the occasional Atlantic, and lots of coho. That's what's been biting. And you're gonna also bump into some brown trout. Brown trout still heavily occupy that western shoreline of the Upper Peninsula there on Lake Superior. Every time I go there, I catch a brown trout, and I can say that doesn't happen anywhere else for me. So it's just a good, slow pick, but you can have a lot of fun. Now, if you're looking for walleye, Lake Ogeebick's trolling has started to go a little bit. Now, I'm not gonna say it's great guns, it's not. But to the guy who's a good troller, you can definitely go out and have a successful day. Can you get 4, 6 fish? Yes, you can. But you have to stay at it. You have to pay attention to details. Right now, I'd be pulling number 9 or 11 flicker minnows, or I'd be pulling crawler harnesses on suspended rigs. Another trick you may want to try, which some guys have been really doing more this year, is also Northland butterfly blades on a slow death hook with a crawler on it. And the only trick with that is be real quick on the strike. In other words, you're going to want to use an offshore board with a tattle flag. And the reason is because when that tattle flag starts to flutter and it looks like you're getting a bite, you're going to want to go ahead with a clicker on, release that pressure, and let that board slide back 10 feet. What that does with the slow death rig is it causes that to pause and fall, and that fish will eat it more completely, and you'll end up with a lot less short strikes. So that's one of the tips to fishing with that slow death rig and the butterfly blade, that a lot of guys, until they start doing that, they complain about hookup ratio. Once they start doing that, they quit complaining about hookup ratio. It seems to be a really good hookup ratio. So Lake Ogeebick for walleye, slow pick, but they're definitely there. and the Lake Superior shoreline for some really good mixed bag silver and trout action.
WavePro high-performance boat pedestals eliminate bottoming out and back-jarring impacts. Now available the 2.0 version and slider seat hubs. The best in air shock technology provides a controlled return to keep you on your seat. Fast and easy to install with permanent mounts or movable hubs for quick and easy seat placement in 10 to 16-inch models. WavePro high-performance boat pedestals, best ride on the water. Online at waveproshock.com.
So hey, the bite that's been going on here on the western shore of Lake Michigan, of Michigan here on Lake Michigan, has been Manistee to Ludington. That's been an awesome bite, been going on for a while, all the way down to Holland if you want the truth. Basically, Holland and Manistee has been awesome. But we're gonna talk just a little bit about a couple of unique circumstances that happened in the Ludington and Manistee area uniquely. And that is the really good opportunity for jigging king salmon. Now you've got it in PM Lake in Ludington, and you've got it in Manistee Lake as well, up in Manistee. And my friends from Blue Collar Guide Service invited me to come up. So next Monday, I'm gonna be up there jigging for kings in Manistee Lake. I'm super excited to do it. I've heard about this last year, that it's just a lights out way to catch fish. And most importantly, it's just crazy fishing. I mean, think about it. You got a 7-foot medium action, basically a bass rod with 20-pound braid and a 15-pound fluorocarbon leader, and then either a jig and spoon or a jig or a soft plastic. And guys, I'm telling you what, think about that. And then think about these aggressive 20 and 30-pound kings that are coming through the river system. Remember, these kings coming through are 4-year-olds, all of them. So everything that comes through the rivers into the Manistee or the Pere Marquette, these are big fish. So when you encounter them in a jigging circumstance with your Garmin on spot lock, you can imagine it goes crazy. The guy tells me these fish will leave the water sometimes 5, 6, 7 times, during a fight. So, the hookup ratio is probably, you're only going to land 1 out of every 2 at best. And that's if you get good hooks in them, because they just go bonkers on you. So, hey, check it out. Next week's report with Blue Collar Guide Service. We're going to be out on Manistee Lake. We'll bring you that on the water report next week out of the Manistee region.
Don't spend another season breaking your back using 5-gallon gas cans to fuel your toys. The Flo-Fast portable fluid transfer system is your solution. A great tool for fueling your ATVs, snowmobile, boat, garden tractor, and more. Flo-Fast eliminates gas sloshing on you and your machines, plus works in reverse to pull unused fuel from your equipment at the end of each season. The pump transfers from container to container in seconds and moves up to 8 gallons a minute. Log on to flofast.com for a dealer near you.
So guys, we're talking last stop of the day, the Cadillac, Lake Cadillac, Mitchell, the Greater Cadillac area. Guys, this has been a consistent producer all year long. And I've tried to educate you a little bit with the help of Randy Cornell, and we've talked to you about the bite that goes on there. And it's really right now a 2-fisted bite. We're in the dog days of summer. So is it as fast as it was a month ago? No, it's not. But there's still fish to be caught, especially in the early morning or later at, evening at 7 to 9 o'clock in the first couple hours of the day for sure. If you want to buzz, there's 2 different ways. You can still pull the weed program, but let me tell you, the weeds have gotten thick there in Cadillac and Mitchell, so it becomes a little bit of a chore to pull the leech rig and weed program. Even with 1-hook harnesses, you do get fouled up quite a bit. Something you might want to try as a secondary option is to just get out past the weeds, get into the deeper water, that 12 to 15 foot range, just outside the weed edges. And if you know where the defined weed beds are, you can then fast troll with shad wraps, number 5 or 7 shad wraps, or number 7 or 9 flicker minnows. You control that 2.1 to 2.3 mile an hour range, and you can just put a spread of 4 or 6 crankbaits out there, get them down. You're still going to see the marks on the graph because they're suspended fish. Try to run those lures a foot or 2 above the head of the walleye so that they're always going up and you're not encroaching on them. That sometimes when you get too close to a walleye, it actually causes the fish to shy away, not to attack it. You want to find that preferred zone of where that bait is far enough from the fish to be interested, and yet close enough for him to have good senses that he can either see it or sense it vibrationally. So that's really the key when you're speed trolling late in the summer. So flicker minnows, shad baits, 2.1 to 2.3, deep edges outside the weed lines. This will work at Cadillac, this will work at Mitchell, this will work at Misaki, this will work at Houghton, this will work almost any weeded up body of water you have late summer. So guys, we're standing here in the showroom of Freeway Sports, which basically Jim and the staff here at Freeway keep emptying out. It's been the story of this year. Sell a ton of boats. The demand is so hot right now that the supply can't keep up with it. But I'm standing here in a showroom that has got boats in it, and we've got boats outside too. So let's take you through some of the boats we got on the lot. Of course, we got a good supply of duck boats this time of year. We're going into duck season. But what's really been cool is I'm standing in front of this beautiful Polarcraft 165. We got 165s in stock. We got 179s in stock. We got 189s in stock. We've got a 24 Angler Quest Pro Fish. Right out the window behind me here, I've got a 22 Crappie edition. And we also have an Angler Quest Triple Tune 818. Now, Triple Tune 818 is a great boat for a small cottage lake for just a multitude of uses. That crappie thing, practically, in my opinion, should have been renamed a panfish model because it's one of the most comfortable panfish boats for fishing out there. What I love about the 22 Crappie is that it's a tri-tune and it's 22 feet long. So if you're somebody looking on a big lake like Houghton Lake or Higgins Lake or Hubbard Lake, Black Lake, Burt Lake, Mullet Lake, any of these great big lakes in northern Michigan, this is a perfect choice for you if you like to fish and just recreate around the lake, because it gives you the length and the triple tunes that you need to navigate those potentially bigger waters that can get roughed up pretty good, but it gives you that fishability, that nimbleness to still be able to throw your bow mount trolling motor down, spot lock on a spot, and be able to sit right there and just properly fish. If you watch my show each week, we were just out on Grand Traverse Bay on my 24 on spot lock lake trout jigging, and we had a great time, caught lots of fish. These boats fish well from the bow. A lot of people who watch our show are starting to find out that you can go pull these boats down a shoreline bass casting, you can spot lock with them, you can just pull, you can forward troll with them. If you're gonna speed troll for silverfish or fast troll for other species, you can just use your main engine. But these are set up for fishing and recreating at the same time. Now, how do you get one of these deals? Well, let me tell you what, I guarantee this showroom is going to empty out practically as fast as Jim filled it up. So what you want to do is you want to get down here, make your best deal this fall. Even if you wouldn't want to necessarily take delivery yet, we can do the deal, you can wrap it up, you can put it off in the back lot for storage for next year, but you got a lot of fishing in front of you as well for the next 2 or 3 months. So most importantly, you can still get out, get a boat, and be fishing this year. And if the model you want isn't in stock right now, the best way to make sure you've got it for next year is to talk to Jim and the staff here. They can look ahead at what boats they've got ordered. They can attach your name to that boat and make sure that you've got that boat for next year's fishing season. So Freeway Sports in Fenton has got boats in stock, pontoon boats, fishing boats, duck boats. If you need service or winterization, they're the place for that too. So get on down here and enjoy the great selection that most dealerships don't have. Hey guys, thanks for joining us every week here on Fisherman's Digest Hot Bites Report. We try to get more specific each week with how to catch these fish that we're talking about, whether it's the type of presentation or speed or color. We want to educate you so that you become more successful at fishing. And of course, if you're more successful, you'll enjoy it more. Hey, thanks to Jim and the staff for supporting the show all year round here. Freeway Sports is an awesome place to buy a boat, service a boat, store a boat, you name it. So get on down and check that out. But we'll see you again next week here on the Hot Bite Fishing Report.